Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I'm your host, Rusty Peace, and it is another big week of Lincoln Memorial University athletics in the mix, and we're going to tell you all about it tonight. We've got a lot of big guests tonight. I'll tell you, we've got more guests tonight than I can remember having on one show in a long, long time. Natalie Layden, head coach of the Lady Railsplitter softball team, is with us. Alyssa Berkheimer, her new assistant, also joining us in the studio, and we'll be joined by Roger Hodge, head coach of the Lady Railsplitters, a little bit later on. Now, folks, again, as you may have heard some of the audio interviews that we do throughout the week on the LMU Athletics website, it's hard to imagine with the weather that we've been having that spring sports are right around the corner, but in reality, we're less than 3 weeks away from our first softball broadcast. Baseball's just around the corner. They get cranked up on February 1st when they go down for their 3-game series at the University of South Carolina, Aiken. And then, of course, we've got men's and women's tennis, men's and women's golf. We're going to tell you all about that, as well as basketball, much more, right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Stay with us.
Let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the first of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
The J. Frank White Academy is more than a high school. Your child will have room to grow in mind, body, and spirit. Small, safe learning environments, individualized learning plans, and cutting-edge technology. Every child deserves a quality education in a safe, nurturing environment.
Our college prep program teaches a love of learning, self-discipline, and service to others. The Academy is fully accredited by Advanced Ed. You have a choice at the J. Frank White Academy.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBusk College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic.
Welcome back to the studio. We come out on Coach Natalie Layden, head coach of the Lady Railsplitters, and she's joined by her new assistant, Alyssa Berkheimer. And, of course, the LMU women open the season at home against Milligan College February 11th, when that will be their first doubleheader of the year. And, Coach, I know that it seems like we were just in the South Atlantic Conference tournament not too long ago, and then all of a sudden, wham, we're right here in 2014. We're ready to go.
It's definitely approached us quick, no doubt about that. Less than 3 weeks to our first game, so it's a little stressful. Only been outside one day, and even on that day, we couldn't get on our field. So hopefully we'll hit the dirt before we play our first game, and we'll see what we got. Crazy
weather. I know that, in years past, I've actually, on those rainy days, just to break up the monotony a little bit, I've seen coaches actually go out and have wiffle ball bats and play on the tarp in the water and slide to the bases and so forth. Now you're joined by a young lady here who's now your new assistant, Alyssa Berkheimer, and she comes to us from Akron. Welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you very much.
Relax, second of all.
Thank you.
And Alyssa's no stranger to the communications field. She is a little bit of a stranger to broadcasting, so we'll have her settled in nicely. Alyssa, first of all, tell us about your prep career on the high school level and, of course, your collegiate career.
I went to Hebron-Lakewood High School. I graduated in 2009, where I went to the University of Akron and played 4 years under head coach Julie Jones. And I had a wonderful experience, and I loved it.
So what has Coach Layden had you doing with the program since you came in as the new assistant coach?
I've been working with the pitchers quite a bit, preparing for the season and getting them ready for February 5th.
Are you hard on your team?
Absolutely.
Striving for the best. Coach, I know that you conducted a wide search for your new assistant. throughout the fall semester, and you came to the conclusion that Coach Berkheimer was going to be the newest addition to the program. Tell us what that process consisted of.
The process consists of a lot of things, talking to other coaches, talking to other players. I've had former players who have now worked camps and things like that with Coach Berkheimer. So I had somewhat of an idea of her character and those things early on. Through the process, it's a lot of phone calls, those kinds of things, bringing people on campus. We actually even had a tryout format where they put our pitchers through a workout. So that way we could kind of see as well, how well do they work with our athletes and personalities and those kinds of things. And how willing are they to adjust to those pitchers and what they already mechanically have?
You and I talked last week in regard to the audio broadcast that we do for the website and, of course, for the LMU Sports Minute. And you were discussing some of the things that she brings to the table for the program and some of the things she's been conducting with them already.
Yeah, it's a lot of things that our girls aren't necessarily used to in our pitching catching practices. A lot of energy, a lot of mechanical work at this point, but yet the conditioning side of the actual pitching part, and so that's something that's been brought to them that's new, but also learning that we can maximize 4 pitches rather than trying to throw a whole scheme of things, and that's really helped them narrow their focus down and hopefully make them more effective.
Go back to Coach Berkheimer. Coach, a lot of times when you come out of the collegiate level and you go directly into the coaching game, it's tough to make the transition from being a college student athlete to now a professional in the coaching ranks. Yes. Has that been a tough adjustment for you so far?
When I came in, I thought it would be, but after being here, not so much. I think you just have to draw that line, and they respect me and I respect them, so absolutely.
The age difference there, obviously you're only a year or two older than some of the kids that you're coaching. Has that been an issue for you at this point, or for them at this point?
For me at this point, I don't believe so, and neither for them. I don't think it has been at all. I think things are going smooth, and I think we'll be great.
Now, you studied, you said earlier, in the communications field when we were talking away from the mic. Was coaching something you wanted to go into, or how did you get into the coaching ranks from being a communications major?
It was. From my freshman year, starting at Akron, through my senior year, I coached travel ball teams or summer ball leagues and gave individual pitching and hitting lessons. So it was something that I wanted to do. And I also worked a couple other college camps at Akron, at Otterbein College in Ohio. So those helped me get to where I am right now.
All right. All right, let's go back to the schedule at hand. You've got, when you're playing in the South Atlantic Conference, you've got a lot of tough games.
Right.
In conference, out of conference, makes no difference. Your non-conference bouts, most of them tournaments, where you're playing other opponents throughout the Southeast region and other parts of the country. Obviously, there's some really quality softball throughout the Southeast. Tell us a little bit about the 2014 schedule and what you see in terms of the non-conference opponents.
Okay, yeah, our non-conference schedule this year is, it's brutal, but hopefully it gets us prepared for hosting conference tournament and what we're going to do postseason. Right now we're playing number 12, or actually number 3, number 12, number 18, 19, and 21 right in the first month. So, hopefully things go well, but it'll be a true test to what we're going to put on the field this season, along with our conference schedule. So everything is, at this point in our tournaments, typically they're all regional games, but most of them are either regionally or nationally ranked as well. So.
Well, I have to ask, did the same person make your schedule that made Coach Hodges' schedule this year? Because his early season schedule has been insane. I think the first 12 games he played 5 teams that were either ranked top 25 or receiving votes.
Great minds think alike.
Well, I don't know who's making the schedule, but we might want to have them evaluated from a psychologist. Coach, with such a rigorous and just insane, as we put it, insane non-conference schedule, the conference schedule now with the addition of Queens and Coker, you're going to play everybody once. That's got to be a tough slate for the whole season.
Yeah, well, and Queens and Coker have been 2 of the top teams in their conference for softball, so adding them to what we already have now, it's just going to make it that much harder. Our conference is still only allowing 8 teams into our tournament out of the 12, so it'll be a battle for who's going to be those top 8 spots.
Daily practice has been limited because of the weather. I know that you've had the opportunity to maybe get in the Mars gym a little bit and throw around or go into the batting cages and so forth. What has practice consisted of over the last week and a half or so?
Week and a half is just a matter of getting them back into it, keeping the intensity high, the energy high, still working on fundamentals and some of our mechanics of some of the smaller things of our game. And then this week will be more, live setting, defenses, kind of slowing the pace down a little bit just to get all on the same page, and then after that we should be game ready.
Coach Berkheimer, I want to ask you, having played on the Division I level, what's the biggest difference in the game from Division I to Division II that you've seen thus far, just on the practice part of it?
Just on the practice part of it?
You've not really seen the game situation
Correct.
yet. So
Yes. Honestly, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Our girls are very intense, and that's how it was at Akron. We practice the same amount of times. We're there. We work hard. The players work hard, and I think it's very similar.
How about from a pitching standpoint? Do you see the same velocities, the same movement on the pitches that you would see on the Division I level?
Definitely.
Really?
Definitely. We've got some good pitchers, and I'm pretty excited.
It's good to know for Lady Railsplitter fans out there. Again, the season gets cranked up February 11th. You're going to open up against the Buffalo of Milligan, not Buffaloes, not to be confused, the Buffalo of Milligan. They're from up around Milligan, Tennessee, just northeast of Johnson City, and they're an NAI opponent, but nonetheless, West Holly always has a great program up there, and I know that anytime you take on a Milligan team, they're tough to deal with.
Absolutely. It's going to be a tough matchup day one coming out there. I think both of us will be somewhat on the same playing field as far as how much we've been able to get outside and get prepared by that point. But it'll definitely be, two teams of talented players going at it day one with excitement, and I'm sure a lot of errors to follow. But, it'll be a good game and good competition.
Well, Coach Berkheimer, I want to welcome you to the LMU coaching staff, and thank you for stopping in and joining us today. We'll have you on again.
Thank you very much.
And then Coach Layden, we always love to see you here, and best of luck this year in 2014.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk with Roger Hodge of the LMU women's basketball program here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Top off at mycokerewards.com.
No matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interests at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwich or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner time, choose from our wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches, all made to your order. If you're serving a crowd, Subway has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Whether it's dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. Subway, 362 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
I will help families adopt children from around the world and in our own backyard.
I am teaching ethics to the next generation of lawyers.
I will make a difference for the underserved of this region.
I will be an advocate for my clients.
As a prosecutor, I fought for those who couldn't speak for themselves.
I'm a lawyer and professor.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Last week the LMU men's basketball team picked up victories over Wingate on Saturday, and a week ago Wednesday against Anderson University. That put the Railsplitters at 11-1 overall and 7-1 in league play. On Wednesday night this week, the Railsplitters traveled down to Greenville, Tennessee, and that's against cross-state rival Tusculum College. LMU came away with an impressive 97-68 victory for a 29-point win to improve to 12-1 overall to 8-1 in league play, and that defended the number 11 national ranking that came out for the Railsplitters on Tuesday by the National Association of Basketball Coaches. On Saturday evening after the win over Wingate, we talked with Josh Schertz and got his thoughts about the victory.
That's about as bad as we've started since I've been here in 6 years in terms of a team coming in our building, and you know they came out with such good energy and so focused and took the fight to us and got us on our heels, and they were getting easy baskets in transition, and I mean they just I burned a timeout. It just didn't seem like we were able to get it together, and then I subbed, and I thought. We went to the bench. I thought, Kurt Webb. I thought Paul Woodson. I thought a lot of the younger guys came in and created some energy, played with some juice, and turned the game around. Got a couple of deflections and got our feet kind of back under us, and but they're an excellent team, and we knew that coming in. I mean, Brian's got a great team. He's got a great program. They're an NCAA tournament team, and we knew that on the front end coming into the game. They were going to challenge us in every way, and it's always been great games with them, and they have a terrific, obviously, inside-outside combo with Turman and Day.
Well, of course, Josh Schertz and his team still ranked number 11. This weekend they'll travel down to Charlotte, North Carolina to take on the Royals of Queens University. The Royals, incidentally, will enter Saturday's matchup with the Railsplitters, having lost their most recent game against Wingate on Wednesday night. That was in Wingate, North Carolina by 17. And LMU, of course, a 5-point victor over the Royals when the two teams faced off back in November in the Tex Turner Arena. So you can guarantee Saturday's matchup is going to be a doozy. Also in action this weekend, the Lincoln Memorial University women's basketball team will take on the Queens Royals, and they'll go into that outing on a 3-game win streak. Roger Hodge and his team now 3 for 4 here in the year of 2014. 3 consecutive victories. Anderson, Wingate, and most recently Tusculum, and Tusculum's win on Wednesday night. Coach, one of those games that was physical as we knew it would be, and one that the Lady Railsplitters didn't have their best outing, but one that was a good win on the road nonetheless.
We'll take it, and bottom line is we did not play very well at all. I think the only major statistical category that we won in the game was field goal percentage. Kind of disappointed with how we played, but at the same time we did what we had to do to pick up a conference win on the road, and it is the first time we've won down there since I've been there, or since I've been here, excuse me, and so that's a positive in spite of what may have been a bad performance.
Let's go back to Saturday's game with Wingate here at home. Obviously, the Bulldogs, one of the top teams throughout the South Atlantic Conference, and they bounced back from that loss that they suffered to us on Saturday last night. Here's footage from the game a week ago. I thought we really showed a gutsy performance. We had some miscues here and there, but all in all, a solid performance. And that bench, that LMU reserve, or the role players, as I like to call them, came in, and they have been coming in. There's a couple of them right there, and just playing very solid for us, adding new dimensions to the ceiling for the Lady Railsplitters this year.
Well, and I was very pleased with that last night against Tusculum as well as against Wingate. We're getting contributions from a lot of folks, so obviously I think in order to compete for a championship, you have to have players beyond your starting 5, and I think honestly our depth is a big strength of our team. And while we were, struggled sometimes last night, I thought we were a lot tougher against Wingate. And, I think we have some potential to, when we decide to play and to kind of up our level of intensity and toughness, at times we can be a really good basketball team.
6-3 in the league now. I took the opportunity this morning before the show to take a look at the latest SAC standings. I thought there was a log jam for second and third place, or second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh place in the men's bracket. The women's bracket is just as congested. And Coach, I'll tell you what, I don't know that I've ever seen a league race since we've been in the South Atlantic Conference quite as tight as the men's and women's races are this year.
If I saw it right, I think we're in a 5-way tie for second place right now, a game behind Carson Newman. And then you've got, I think, 3 other teams that are 2 games behind us, or behind that group, I should say. And even the teams at the bottom in Mars Hill and Tusculum. Tusculum owns a 20-point win over Newberry. Mars Hill has been playing people very tough. It is a very even league from top to bottom, and I guess from a fan standpoint, it should make for some exciting basketball the rest of the way.
Well, I think that's a given. Without a doubt, when you look at it at 6-3, there's a lot of basketball left to be played. but you got to like where you are right now. Now, you're going to go in and face a team on Saturday that we have the upper hand on, having won the home game of the home and away series. But, you know, this will be the first time we've been to Queens since they joined the South Atlantic Conference. They're in a new venue. Obviously, they are trying to get back on winning track as well, so it's going to be tough.
There's no question it'll be tough. It was tough here. So, I mean, I have no doubts that it will be a very difficult task to be able to compete with Queens down there. They have a very athletic basketball team. Petaway kid just torched us here for a large part of the game. And, you know, I feel like that we'll have to be at our best to be able to have a chance down there.
Well, I don't know. I got choked up over the whole thing. But, Coach, you're now, what was it, 7-6?
7-6.
6-3 in the league play. From an individual standpoint, I've seen the addition of these role players that I'm talking about, adding the dimensions, but that too has also opened up some new avenues for the starting five. And I think for the most part at this point in the season, you've settled into the rotation, and everybody is starting to define those individual roles.
Well, I think you make a good point there that it's helping our starting five from a standpoint of some kids not having to play as many minutes. So, you know, they're a little fresher, their performance is a little better. You know, again, that depth can only help make our basketball team better. And so that's something that we hope to be able to rely on throughout the rest of the way.
Let's talk about, again, Saturday's game with Queens. Obviously, there's going to have to be some things that we're going to have to do better in order to go down there and win than we've done, not only in previous games, but the last time that we've played them. Both teams have got a lot more experience than the first time we met. What are those things that you're going to work on between now and Saturday?
Well, the things that we struggle with against Tusculum is physical level of play, defending dribble penetration, and keeping people off the offensive glass, as well as taking care of the basketball. While I think it was 16 turnovers they had us for, like, you know, you and I said, I questioned that stat in a big way. I thought we had a lot more than 16 turnovers, but those are things. Queens offensively is similar to Tusculum in that you're going to see a lot of dribble penetration. You're going to see physical, athletic attacks to the basket. They are a little bit different defensively. They're going to play pretty much all half-court man, or at least that's what they've shown up to this point. And we'll have to take care of the basketball and to be able to get shots every time down the floor. They're an athletic group of kids, and we'll have our work cut out for us trying to keep them off the offensive glass. All those areas we've got to get better in.
You know, for those of us at home, coaches don't always think X's and O's. I know that you guys concentrate a lot on fundamentals, and it's not as though you just leave those and throw those to the wind. But it seems like a lot of fundamentals year after year after year after year are starting to fall off a little bit. The long-range bank shot is something of the past. You don't see it as much as you used to years ago. Free throw shooting is something that is, I don't know, I want to say 90% mental, but a lot of it is. It's mechanical. It seems like today kids don't do some of the things that were given as easy and fundamental things as well as they did years ago.
You know, this is just my opinion and take on it. It's kind of what I call the ESPN culture, and you know, I love ESPN. I'm a junkie there in terms of watching that network. But everything is a highlight. So you know, when kids watch ESPN and they watch SportsCenter, they see LeBron dunking it or Dwayne Wade making a shot where he's twisting and turning and not facing the bucket, and that's what they emulate when they're out on the court and when they're working on you know, their skills. So instead of going out and learning how to shoot the basketball or taking time to shoot free throws or learn how to handle the ball, they're learning to do things with a degree of difficulty. That's why you see fewer shooters, fewer really good passers, fewer fundamental kids, and that's not to take anything away or insult any kids, but that's my take on the whys, and I think you're right. I think you do see an increase in athleticism, but a decrease in fundamental skills in the game of basketball now.
Yeah, years ago when I was in the communications program at Lincoln Memorial, we were taught that never try to emulate somebody else because you can spot a fake very quickly. Try to be yourself, to develop your own personality on air, and ultimately that'll flourish. Coach, want to congratulate you on a great start 2014 and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, Rusty.
Roger Hodge and his team at 2 o'clock on Saturday against the Royals of Queens. Let's take this break and we'll be back here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
Life and death situations.
We touch a lot of lives every day.
People's lives are in your hands.
I will be a nurse.
I will be a nurse.
The Duncan School of Law at LMU, where innovative teaching meets cutting-edge technology.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the 1st of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
We represent the Coke brand, and we would love to somehow bring some kind of legal action against Coke Zero.
There might be some taste infringement issues.
There's really no legal concepts of a company bringing a lawsuit against itself.
If this is the king of the jungle, they're acting like the toucan that's on the branch, real colorful and preening, and showing off, and hey, look at us. I want to take a stick and knock that toucan off the branch.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. One of the area's best-kept secrets when it comes to piping hot fast food is World of Wings Cafe and Wingery, located in the LMU Campus Center. No matter whether it's chicken tenders, chicken wraps, burgers, or hot wings in a variety of flavors, WOW has a menu that's second to none. Try one of our fantastic sides like our fried mushrooms, fried pickles, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, our famous cheese fries, sweet potato fries, or our Texas toast. Shock your taste buds at WOW World of Wings Cafe and Wingery, located in the LMU Campus Center.
Special thanks to Alyssa Burkheimer, new assistant coach with the Lady Railsplitter softball team, and Natalie Layden, head coach of the LMU softball program, as well as Roger Hodge for joining us on the show tonight. Folks, don't forget the LMU baseball team opens the 2014 schedule in defense of their 2013 SAC tournament title. That'll be February 1st on the road. They'll play the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in their annual 3-game series with the Pacers of the University of South Carolina, Aiken. That taking place down in Aiken, South Carolina. And, of course, the LMU men's and women's tennis teams will crank things up the 1st and 2nd week of February as well. So it's all just around the corner. I mean, this is the 16th, and hey, we are just about 3 weeks away from LMU Spring Sports getting started. Softball team February 11th, and of course the LMU men's and women's golf teams. Can't leave them out. The men in defense of their 2013 SAC tournament title, and that'll be coming up here in just a couple of weeks. The Lady Railsplitters, a much improved program this year as well. That's really about all the time we have for tonight. Folks, if you'd like to keep up to date with everything going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. You'll find all the latest scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, roster schedules, news releases, and much more. That's the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night.